Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Deja Jones, and I chose to do my informative speech on how to make a Quoit club punch. Sorry. Okay, back before the Civil War, the Buchanan Springs Quoit Club used to meet just outside of Richmond, Virginia, every other Saturday from May until October. The members and their guests would throw quoits at posts, eat roast pig barbecue with cayenne pepper, and drink the punch Jasper Crouch used to make for them. Just a little back history. The Buchanan Springs Koi Club is similar to a country club. And kois are similar to, if you know the game of horseshoe, they're kind of metal, but they're shaped like donuts, round donuts. And they're about as thick as a donut as well. And the game is to throw them so they get caught on the post, but whoever reaches the top first is the winner. However, today is more so about the punch that our lovely ancestor Jasper Crouch made for them. Jasper Crouch was a freed slave, and for African Americans, it was very difficult to receive employment after being freed, because a lot of our white counterparts would still see them as slaves, and oftentimes when they would go to apply for employment, they would give them stipulations as a slave, and that became really hard for our African American ancestors. And so what they would do is create businesses of their own based on skills that they learned through slavery. So it's kind of like it was a gift and a curse, but it made Jasper, who he was during the time, very, very popular, and he was considered a caterer. The caterer's job was to essentially do what caterers do in 2019, in charge of purchasing food, preparing the food, setting up the decor, and his extra job was to create cocktails for his employer's guests. What was special about Jasper, he worked with what they had. Essentially, cocktails have evolved very much so nowadays. But just think about back then, they didn't really, have too many options, and he still had to make a tasty drink, which I think is the core of being a mixologist. You don't just serve a drink, you think about the guests involved and how they would like it and what they would, just to make sure that they're having a good time. Again, so a mixologist versus a bartender. A mixologist is a person who's skilled at mixing cocktails, and a bartender is a person who just simply mixes them and serves drinks at a bar. So mixologists go the extra mile, essentially. So what is a Quoit club? As in the beginning I explained, a Quoit club is very similar to a modern day country club. The only thing that's different between the country clubs now and the ones in the 1800s, Black people weren't allowed to join country clubs. It's still of who you know and not what you gain or how much money you have. It's a very secret society, and all they ask is trust. Shout out to Jay-Z. So yes, it's very similar to a modern day country club, but now country clubs focus on playing golf rather than quoit, and that's the difference. Party, party, party. In the 1800s, I feel like they partied more than we did, because I know at the age of 30, after 10 o'clock, I am in the bed. However, for the people who lived during those times, they loved elaborate, exquisite parties where they dressed a certain type of way. Their dress clothes were very beautiful. I think it was too much. If it was between May and October, it probably was too warm. However, they didn't matter. It was all about the glitz and the glam of it all. And as you can see on the side, they're playing koi here, and that's what they used to play. And a lot of alcohol was involved in eating and celebrating. And it didn't have to be a special occasion. They just did it, again, every other Saturday. So let's get to it, making a Quoit Club punch. A Quoit Club punch, or any punch for me rather, it's best to make them in batches. And what I mean is in batches is in pitchers or large bowls. Those are best for groups of people. Although it's fancy to make a individual cocktail for each guest, it's time consuming, and who has time for that when you really want to just get back to enjoying the party? So ingredients. First, you would need to start off with cognac, VSOP, Jamaican or Demerara rum, Madeira wine, 6 lemons, 1 cup of sugar, and nutmeg. To me, it sounds like a very strong sangria in a sense, but you probably would need some other ingredients to make it a perfect sangria. Preparation. So step 1, you're going to peel 6 lemons. Step 2, put the peels in an airtight container with 1 cup of sugar and leave in a container for 3 to 4 hours, shaking occasionally. What this will do will extract the oils from the peels, and it's going to make you a kind of like a sugar oil mix. So to assemble the punch, you would add the 1 cup of fresh squeezed lemon juice to that sugar oil mix. Step 4, pour into a gallon punch bowl, and you're going to have ice in there first. Ice is always best as your base for a batch cocktail. What happens is it starts to cool the drink before you set it in the fridge for cooling later, but it's just it's a perfect additive. It's going to cool the drink, and it's going to cut some of the alcohol and the taste of the strongness of it as well. Preparations continue. Step 5, we're going to add all the ingredients that I just told you about below. You can see them here. So you're going to get a 750 milliliter bottle, 6 ounces of the Jamaican rum, 6 ounces of the Madeira wine. Step 6, stir it well all together because it's all in that punch bowl. Grate fresh nutmeg over top, and then you're going to ladle out 3 to 4 ounces, and it serves up to 8 people. So when I got to the end of it, I said serves to 8 people, which means Jasper had to probably get a gazillion lemons, because I heard the parties could range from 50 to 200 people every other weekend. Could you imagine? I couldn't. So, Black Mixology You Should Know 2019. The drinking coach, she's based out of Atlanta. She actually created a platform for Black bartenders and females especially to band together, share ideas, share content, share recipes, and just any struggles that they're going through as Black mixologists. Again, it's hard to get jobs in certain places. I know, as for myself, as an African American woman, I would apply to certain places, they would ask for a headshot, and I would never hear from them again. So she actually went through the same thing, and she's like, why do we just keep trying to get a seat at the table when we should just create our own? And I think that I was genius. If you can follow her on Instagram at The Drinking Coach, her link is there. You can click on the link to get more information. To the right, we have the Cocktail Bandits. They're 2 best friends, and they recently released a book in 2019 called Holy Spirits. And they're based out of Charleston, South Carolina, and they're both mixologists as well. And it's a book about recipes, our culture as African Americans, and where we fit in the service industry. I think that we've come a long way, but we still have some ways to go. And I think that them creating these platforms for us is very, very important. And it just kind of again, bonds us and brings us closer together, and just to share our struggles and our culture, and to embrace it and to celebrate it, because we're awesome. For my conclusion, if it wasn't for Jasper Crouch and many other ancestors before us paving the way, Black mixologists wouldn't exist. So we applaud ancestors like Jasper Crouch and other people who paved the way for us, who weren't afraid to stand up and, create their own table so that we can have, or what we have now in 2019. As you can see on the side, this is my logo, Sip Lightly. It was established in 2013, and it is my baby. And I knew that I wanted something different for my people, and I can and celebrate them in the way that I want to celebrate them, not the way society celebrates them. I believe that we can have decadence, and that we can have all the things that everybody else has. And I want to create those moments and those experiences for my people and other races as well, but specifically for my people, to show them that we don't have to just drink, I don't know, there's some funky drinks out there. Just because you can't afford certain things, I'm very into farm to table cocktails, and it's certain things that you can make in your own home that you don't necessarily have to go out and get and spend money on, because again, it's trash. So that's my conclusion. Thank you for watching. Bartending and mixology has a very special place in my heart, and I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope you make the drink, and I hope it tastes good. And if it doesn't, try it again. Thank you.